Today we're gonna react to a video from Jubilee. It's called "Is Being Fat a Choice? Fit Women versus Fat Women, Middle Ground." So they usually do very good videos where they bring both sides and both sides tell their opinion.
If you see me, you consider me obese?
I wouldn't say that you're obese, but it's like medically,
So,
you know.
So like.
Welcome back to Middle Ground. I'm John. I host the Radical Empathy podcast, and I'll be moderating today's discussion between fit women and fat women. And a friendly reminder, if you are writing a hate comment, you are part of the problem.
First of all, just to address this, he's totally correct. If you start hating on someone right away just for being obese or being more fat, I think that's a personal issue, so yeah, you gotta clear that up with yourself. So let's continue with the video.
Your physique is in your control. Will the agreeers please step forward?
She has a question. I have a question. When you mean physique, can you specify like what exactly are you trying to?
Why were you hesitating?
Because
we had problems.
you know, there's a lot of different
ads,
illnesses around. So I have family members that have like thyroids and they can't gain weight or they can't lose weight. But I think that they can manage to stay at a place that's going to be healthy for them. To me, personally, I do feel like I can be at a better place. I'm working on it, and that's my goal. So.
Yeah, I agree with 100%. I think that definitely people have ailments, there's different diseases and all that, but I think at the end of the day, what you can do, the best physical peak for your personal body is in your hands. You may not look like someone you want to look like, your ideal situation, but you can optimize your body to be the highest performance that you think that you can get to.
I definitely agree with this woman. If you have thyroid issues, that really sucks, and you're gonna have to take some pills, maybe do TRT, and you can still have control over your physique, but it's just harder because some people financially cannot afford that or live in locations where they do not have the same opportunities to fix the thyroid issues, and they don't have the medications. So that's why the answer to this question is it's not very easy. It's more complicated, as almost every question is when you dig into it. So yeah, all right, let's continue now.
Bring in our disagreement. Whoever wants to pick up where we just left off.
So while of course there are aspects that I think you can control about your physique, I think there are more things that are out of your control. Like, it is so much more expensive to eat healthy than it is to eat like crap. If I go to the grocery store and I just want to buy a bunch of frozen meals, that's going to be so much cheaper than me going and buying fresh produce and fresh fruit and everything.
I disagree.
Good timing to stop it here. I disagree as well. Depends on which locations. In some locations there are the healthier foods, and when I say healthier, I mean protein-rich foods, fiber-rich foods, and also foods that are lower in calories but have more volume. That can be fruits and vegetables. They are more scarce in some locations, some states and some cities. So they can be more expensive. So this depends on the location, but I think in most of the world we have access to them, and it is not as expensive as a lot of people like to say it is. You just switch the foods, you buy a little bit of fast food, and most of it to be non-processed, to be healthier, as we say, foods, and it's not gonna cost much more. It can cost a little bit more, but it's a small price to pay for you to be healthier, to function better, and yeah.
I disagree too.
Why do you disagree?
The prepackaged foods, the frozen ones, way more expensive. I've been on a budget, you know, eternally. I always save money by just going to the grocery store and buying ingredients.
I agree with you on that, but I can go get a frozen meal sometimes for $1.50, $2. Where if I want to cook a whole meal, like depending on what all the ingredients I'm getting, that could be $10.
But you'll get more.
Yes, but still, you have to think from people who have like no money and they're thinking like, oh, I can get.
I've had no money. I've had $12 for a week's amount of food.
I hear both. I think that you definitely, in the short-term mindset, it is cheaper. You go to a fast food restaurant, they have like a dollar menu. I think they even increased the dollar menu now, so which is
$2
crazy. It's like a $2 menu. So that's valid, I think, but I think it's killing us in the long term. Like it's like that short dopamine effect. The dopamine where you're like, oh, I just need something right now. I think that's the issue.
I also did want to, sorry, just touch on other than like food costs. Like there's also privilege when it comes to like having time to cook stuff.
Definitely,
Like if you work a
100%,
full-time job, if you have kids and stuff, a lot of the time it's just easier. You don't have the time and energy. Like I enjoy cooking, but it's a lot of work sometimes, and it's much easier for me to just like go through the drive-through. And then privilege when it comes to like your mental health. When you are depressed, when you're struggling to even like get through the day, it can be really hard to have that motivation to eat well, to move your body and stuff. So for then when people are like, oh, well, why aren't you working out? It's like, dude, I can barely even get out of bed. So like, please stop with that.
Okay, so now we're switching to a different, let's call it argument. So at first she said it's much more expensive, but now she's giving another reason. So this other reason is that she says that she doesn't have time, which it's hard for me to believe, especially if you only work one job. I don't know. I don't know about her. Maybe she works 2 jobs. I have no idea. Maybe even 3. I don't know. But as someone who works 2 jobs, and I can still manage to. I mean, I'm not the fittest guy, but I've definitely lost a lot of weight, and I'm still improving by a little bit, and I'm working 2 jobs, and yeah, it can be harder, but it's doable. Now here she also mentions depression. She also mentions stress, mental problems, and I can totally understand that. If you are more stressed out, you will probably go and eat more fast food for the dopamine hits, to feel better, to make you feel more comfortable, which I'm not gonna blame her for it. I mean, it's a coping mechanism, but I do think that we should see that, accept how it is, and to slowly start changing it, to slowly start fixing it. And when we feel stress, instead of going right to the food, maybe we can rely on a friend, maybe on a family member. If that's not possible for you, I don't know, maybe journaling. There are other ways you can cope with stress that's not eating. Or if we get into addictions and coping mechanisms, it can get a lot worse. It can be alcohol, it can be other stuff. But for now, we're talking about just eating. So in this case, for her, I think it's just the stress, and because she feels very stressed, she's just looking for a way to feel more comfortable and to distract herself from the stress. And I think cooking and working out, stuff like that, I think it adds on to the stress. So that's why she doesn't cook at home, and she doesn't work out. So I think here the main problem is the coping mechanism, and yeah, I think that should be a problem to work on.
Body positivity can promote unhealthy habits. Will the agreeers please step forward?
I think blind body positivity can be harmful. If it's just like always like, don't ever consider any possibility that you could change something or improve your quality of life. Just blindly accept yourself. I think that's where it can get kind of toxic.
I don't look like how I looked when I was 20. So body positivity is encouraging yourself to accept you're going to transform eventually. When you're 40, when you're 50, you're going to get wrinkles, all these things. So yeah, definitely body positivity should have taken another route instead of just saying it's for big people, because it's not. It's for all the variety of people that need to accept you're changing.
Yeah, I think the pendulum has switched to the furthest extreme. I think body positivity was created because there wasn't a space for people who could have acceptance in bigger bodies. And I think it's just gone to the furthest extreme now. And
like, women come in all shapes and sizes, right? And every woman is beautiful. And I think that you should really be confident in your body and the way that you look, wake up feeling your best. But I feel like especially on social media and in society today, this body positivity movement, I've seen like multiple times where there's like obese women promoting body positivity, and it's like I wouldn't want like my
What's
kid.
obese for you?
It's like an unhealthy lifestyle.
No,
like
explain what's obese for you.
Obese, like a
Like for
medically
me,
obese.
if you see me, you
What's a
consider me
range?
obese?
I wouldn't say that you're obese, but it's like
She's probably obese. Yeah, definitely overweight, but probably obese.
medically,
So like for
So
example,
you're medically obese, though?
Yes. I've been medically obese since I was like 12, and I was not obese.
Well, does anybody here?
So
would anybody here explain what
I would really like to. I would really like her to go more into what you said. That she was medically obese, but she wasn't obese. I'm really interested in that.
What they mean by medically obese? Just-
Exactly.
Like,
BMI.
Like when you go to the doctor's
Yeah.
office and you get weighed on a scale and they'll tell you, oh, you're a little bit overweight, or they'll say you're morbidly obese, you're
Because of your
whatever
height.
these things. So like,
Yeah.
like if you look at me, you would be like, oh, she's a little plus size, but I am technically considered obese
So
by my doctors.
And I was obese at, I think it's 30,
She explained it pretty well, I think.
30 BMI. Now the BMI, we have come to learn that it's a little bit tricky now.
Right. It's not the most accurate.
Right.
But that's what it's based off.
Yeah.
But
Right.
so correct. But
mass
now that when I was a size 14, I was considered obese. It's smaller than we think.
I think an obese person, and this is not, calling absolutely anybody obese, but I think a person that can be considered obese will not be able to go on walks. They will lose their breath. For me, because I am a person that I'm big, but like I said, I'm still able to go on hikes and I won't lose my breath. I can go on runs. I can exercise. So if for the
you're-
doctors, I'm
Okay, so obese, when we're talking about the definition of obese, it goes by the BMI. So if your BMI is above a certain number, you're obese, and that's a fact. Like, I mean, we can talk about how it's not very accurate. If you have a lot of muscle and very low fat, it can show up as you're overweight or maybe even obese, but you just have a lot of muscle. But in this case, come on, we can see that she is definitely overweight. I'm not sure about the obesity, but probably even obese just by looking at it. And how she explains it, it's good that she can walk and breathe and doesn't have breathing problems, and then she can work out. But if she can do those things, it doesn't mean she's not obese.
obese because of the
Yes.
size and the stuff that
Yes.
I am for the doctors.
Yes.
For me, it is not the way that it works because an obese person, I've had friends who are skinnier than me. We go on walks and they're losing their breath.
So for you, obesity
correct.
is just the
The fact-
health parameter of how physical you can be. For you,
Exactly.
it's not a physical manifestation
Exactly.
of the body.
What the doctor,
Exactly.
when that doctor says that bad word, he's looking on a chart versus saying,
Okay, I don't like how we do this. Obesity shouldn't be a trigger word. It should be just a word that we use to communicate. I mean, come on, like, I don't know.
How many people have
but he's
been
saying,
bad
but listen,
diagnosed?
he's not saying you're ill and you can't walk up that hill.
I've had
you
doctors say that to
you go,
me.
I have that.
I've had doctors
I'm
say that
obese
to
and I
me,
can still walk
so-
up that hill, and that's what's fabulous about it, right? It doesn't automatically mean you're ill, but also down the road, absolutely, it's going to mean you're ill. You're lucky with your genetics currently. Down the road, it's not going to be the same
But this
story.
is the thing, you think they're genetics. But since I was really young, I'm active. I'm an active woman.
I never said you're not
No,
active.
no, I know. But I'm just responding to what you're
Okay.
saying. I know you're not saying that I'm not active. I'm responding to what you're saying about the doctors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I have had doctors tell me that.
Tell
that,
you what?
That I'm obese and that I
Yes.
cannot exercise, that why am I not exercising, why am I not doing the effort. There's doctors that have bad diagnosed me for things that I've never had. And I've gotten medicated for things that I've never had. So it's like,
Right.
it's
That's-
it's
they're
different.
killing us too.
Just we went down a tangent.
Yeah.
All right, if that's happening, I mean, that's a lawsuit right there.
I want to.
Oh my God, you can
we're
say
talking
that.
about we're talking about body positivity, whether
Yes.
we think it promotes unhealthy habits. We're going to bring in our disagreeer.
Oh my God.
And then continue the combo.
So I didn't step forward because I really hate the toxicity that has come from people being like, oh, body positivity promotes obesity and blah, blah, blah. I hate that so much. I think there is like the minutest people who are doing that. The vast, vast majority, I do not think promote obesity. Body positivity to me is just loving your body, accepting your body how it is, and not hating yourself. Like, you shouldn't have to wake up every day because you're 400 pounds and hate yourself. Like, I don't think anybody should be hating themselves. So that to me is what body positivity is about. And it's also about equality in how people are treated. Like, for example, Lizzo gets called out so much on like, oh my God, she's out there with her ass and stuff. Like, it's so disgusting. But Chapel Roan, who, God, I love Chapel Roan, was at Gumball and came out at Statue of Liberty and had her ass out. Did not see a single person online saying, oh, so why does she have her ass out? It's like, it's a double standard. People inherently hate fat bodies and don't think they should be seen in
I
society.
actually disagree with that because I do see people hating on Chapel Rowan for the way that she looks and her outfits, and there's going to be hate on both
Oh,
sides.
of course, there's going to be
That is
hate, but I meant like the volume of hate that Lizzo gets compared to Chapel Roan. Like, I would say, like, it's much smaller. Like, you constantly hear about like, Lizzo, and
I have a question. I have a question
Yeah.
with Lizzo.
Always
one
come
of the
back to Lizzo.
One of the Okay.
She's a lady.
I know.
She's lost a lot of weight right now.
One of the few times I saw her streaming, she had this gorgeous cake was gifted to her, enormous. Went in with it with a fork and was eating constantly and talking to the camera while she was streaming. The volume of the cake that she ate, I just went, oh my god, how many people are watching this? This is absolutely, it was a horrible representation. I hated every moment of it. What do you have to say about that?
Well, my question would be, if there was a thin person doing that, would you have had that same
Yes.
reaction? Yeah. Okay, then I think it's more about, like, she's not promoting obesity by eating cake on camera. She's just, eating cake
But
on camera.
if she's a representation of body positivity and she's behaving this way, is that promoting?
Have
a
you
negative
noticed
light?
that she just posted a video that she lost weight? Like,
No,
that
no,
was-
absolutely don't. I
She just posted a
absolutely
video.
not. I
She lost
absolutely
weight. You can see the
because
difference.
I don't want her in my algorithm.
So it was just probably that one day that you saw her doing that, but that doesn't identify her as a whole person.
Yeah, in defense of Lizzo, not sometimes
So I don't follow Lizzo, and I know how she looks like, but I don't follow her, so I don't know what is cake and stuff like that. But we can see how is her lifestyle just by looking at her body. So she's definitely overeating a lot. So we can't say we don't know. We know.
I have seen her post like, oh, here's the green smoothie that I got, or here's me with my salad, or like, here I am at the gym. I think there is this weird stigma where people that are overweight have to be perfect all the time. They can never just just have a cake. And I agree it's food. I agree it's not great. I'm not saying that's great. It's not great. But I'm saying that like this one instance of her doing this amidst all her other ones of her trying to be healthy.
Can I go on the opposite side of that, like with Lizzo? Like Eugenia Cooney, she's a very
Yes,
petite, tiny
Eugenia.
woman. Why are people saying, "Oh, good job, Lizzo, like good job for eating healthier"? But like when Eugenia Cooney's like trying to eat something,
But is Eugenia Cooney allowed to have hashtag body positivity?
she does sometimes. So
Is
she promotes herself literally wearing like tiny
Because we're-
outfits, showing her body.
That was the whole point. Is like these extremes are hijacking it.
Yeah,
I agree.
they're not good representation.
Yeah,
No.
like the algorithm, they will push out the most extreme cases because they get the most views, and it's what people want to see.
Yes, it's dangerous.
Including these conversations. I know this was
I think some topics, especially in the politics, as well with the body positivity stuff, there is always extremes, and one extreme will say something, and then the other ones on the other extreme say something else, and there are three types left in the middle. Those are the ones who don't say anything and just stay in the middle. There's the second type, which is they do say something, but it's not heard a lot because the algorithm promotes extreme stuff where people get angry, there's drama, shit like that, because that's what we like, and of course the algorithm will give us that. So we won't hear them, even if they say something. And the third type is the ones that change their mind because of some extreme, because of someone who's on some extreme. Come on, it's not healthy. Just like everything in life, there should be balance, and for everyone, the balance is different. But I think most of the arguments and most of the commentary that's given is either people talking out of spite, out of being triggered, stuff like that, and that goes in the two extremes. It can be overweight people who are triggered from people hitting on them, and also it can be the people that are hitting on them. They can get triggered because someone is overweight. Like, come on, chill. So I think, especially these past few years, everyone is chronically online, and everyone is just looking for fights, and they don't even know what they think themselves. They just follow someone from social media that says something, and they instantly eat that, not pun intended, eat that opinion, and they just talk that opinion, and they don't have that opinion, they just heard it, and they're just saying it. So yeah, I think people should be more more calm and not get triggered as much, and just to think for themselves.
I have taken a weight loss drug. Will the agreeers please step forward?
I have used weight loss drugs before. I knew the power of them in college, and that you could get them over the counter, but they were incredibly strong and probably needed to be controlled at that time. But I was just so obsessed with my body size. I've pretty much my whole life, and that's just the culture, American culture that I was raised in and lived in. And so I would try drastic means, and I've done things that would just get you super wired. Even as an adult, once I figured out how to eat, I gained the weight back during the lockdown, like a lot of people did. And I go, gosh darn, I was so upset. And I took a prescription weight loss drug that was prescribed by a doctor, and I was able to drop the weight quickly. I use it as a biohack. I use it short term just to get the weight off, because once the weight is off. Now it's on you. You have to know how to
this
eat.
is more recently.
Yep, and this is absolutely recent.
Was
too.
it like Ozempic, something like that?
Phentermine. You can get it prescribed. It's a controlled substance. It's hardcore, but it takes the thought process out of your mind. That thing, that monster that always tells you you're gonna get your next serotonin kick by that food, and you're hyper-focused on eating, and it takes that monster, it stops talking. So now, when the monster stops talking, you go, I can control this. I can make changes in my lifestyle in order to make healthier decisions to keep the weight off that I just lost with this drug, and yeah.
Yeah, so I think most people already know this is very bad. Don't do that. It can fuck up your hormones. It can fuck up your metabolism. It's just don't do it. Like, it's a big no. But I can understand why someone would try that. I think if you want to lose weight, you should get to the root of the problem, understand why you're getting fat, why you're overeating, and then start fixing it by lifestyle, by changing your coping mechanism if the problem is that. And yeah, usually the medications for weight loss, for 99.999% of the people in the world, you don't need them. You don't need it. It's just no.
So I've heavily considered taking Ozempic, but I've decided not to because you either have to stay on that drug long term to keep those effects, or if you get off of it, most people are going to gain the weight back. So I'm no longer interested in anything that is not a complete lifestyle change. Like for me, I have learned over the years that I would prefer to be fat and happy than thin and miserable. So like right now, I'm just trying to,
Yeah, so the Ozempic medication, first it was made for people that had diabetes. I believe it was diabetes 2, and then after a few years they found out that if they change the dose, they can give it to people and to suppress their appetite to eat. But the thing is, suppressing their appetite to eat, like, it suppresses it so much, and also it can I believe the side effects were either with the hormones or with the thyroid. There were some problems with that, and yeah, so the side effects are not very great. Maybe they are more rare, but if you do have them, it's much. It makes your life much worse because now you have to take other medications for the side effects that you got from this one, and also the side effects, and also those side effects are lifetime side effects. So even when you get off the Ozempic, you're still gonna have those problems. Yeah, and also even if you don't get the side effects, or maybe the lifetime side effects, there was a fitness trainer that had taken this one. I believe it was Ozempic. When he took it, he ate like, I believe it was something like 600 calories.
4.9 kilograms I've lost in 9 days because of this. I was supposed to take this for a month, but I had to stop after 2 weeks because I lost too much weight. Come in. Thought I'd lean up a little bit. I didn't want to end up like this guy.
Which, that's bad. That's very bad. That's even for a girl or a woman, 600 calories it's bad. And especially if you don't fix your relationship with food, it's gonna be even worse, because if those 600 calories are only from soda, or maybe like everything is sugar, or everything is just carbs or just fat, it's gonna be even worse, because your muscle is gonna deteriorate. You're not gonna have enough protein to maintain the muscle, which then you're prone to more injuries. You might also feel like you have low energy, and yeah, there's a lot of issues with that. And when you stop taking it, if you don't fix your relationship with food, you're just gonna go right back to where you started, and you're not gonna make any progress. So yeah, not worth it.
Trying to, eat less processed food, stay away from like sodas and stuff for the most part. But I will never count calories, or because to me that leads to disordered eating habits.
For you?
For me personally, yes. I'm not talking.
For me personally, it helps me stay more accountable, and I just feel much easier when I know how much calories I have taken for a day. I like to track my macros, my protein, and that just helps me stay on track with the weight loss and the training. Now, for some people, as she said, this can be more stressful, and in those cases, I think if you find a better way to go about your weight loss, or just about a fitness lifestyle in general, if you find what's working for you, just keep doing that, and that's it.
Fit women are more attractive than fat women. Will the agreeers please step forward?
I would definitely agree. Fit women are more attractive than
Let's not beat around the bush. It's for most people, it's true. Fit women are gonna be more attractive than fat women. Now there are some women that the fat is very well distributed and it looks very good on them, but those are more rare circumstances. So yeah, I think no one is gonna argue this.
plus size women, only because me having this body, it shows that I can commit to something, right? And it shows that I'm hardworking, so I feel like men looking at my body can see, oh, okay, she's dedicated. She put in the work, and that can be an attractive quality that men see in me. I would definitely go for like a more muscular guy. So that kind of shows that we have something in common, something that we can work on together.
So gym dates.
Yeah, gym dates, for sure.
All right, thank you.
I think all women are beautiful. I've had relationship with women that are fit, that are not fit, variety. And I can tell you that personality-wise, the skinniest ones and the most beautiful ones have had a personality that I cannot work with. Me, personally, me. So,
Yeah.
And it comes from a place that the way that I grew up, the way that they grew up, thoughts, minds, you surround yourself with people that you like, that is like you. Your personality has more beauty than the way that you look.
Your physical looks will disappear. My grandma, she used to be a very petite, tiny woman, grew up in the Philippines. My grandpa the same way. Now they're a little bigger, they're more comfortable. 50 years later, still in love.
Yeah.
My grandpa always makes jokes. Like, when I remember growing up, he was like, this is Burger King and this is McDonald's. I'm the king and I'm loving it. And I'm like, that's my grandpa. He showed me, like, you can appreciate a woman through all the changes, like,
Exactly.
And that's why I love, like, I could be, once I get skinny, like, my boyfriend can still love me, but maybe he loves me more because how I am personally.
I think people
If you find a partner that you like, maybe you like their personality and everything, you can live with them for years and you're still gonna like them. But to be honest, if your partner has gained a lot of weight, if they're obese or overweight, sure, you're still gonna like them because of their personality and because you fell in love with who they are, not with their body. But when we're talking about physical attraction, you can always do better. You can always look better. But also there are periods of times where your partner can get, or maybe you will get more fat, and that's okay. That's part of life. And if your partner leaves you for that, be happy they left you, because that's not the partner you want.
like to be like, oh, it's always going to be the fit woman is more attractive than the plus size woman. I just don't think that's true. Like, there's a lot of beautiful fit women. There's also a lot of not very beautiful ones.
Right.
You know what I mean? To assume that size will always equal more attractive, I just think is like silly. It's a case by case basis.
The more unhealthy.
Again, of course, there are different circumstances. There are more rare cases where fit women are not very attractive, or fat women are more attractive, but on average, that's not the truth. So when we're talking about this, we're talking about the general population, about most of the cases. We're not talking about the small cases that are different.
I have abused my body. Will the agreeer step forward?
Personally, for me, I've always suffered with anxiety and depression since I was young. I haven't grown up in the best areas. I used to self-harm in different ways. I suffered with like purging and everything, and like actual like physically cutting myself. Sometimes I even tempted to like burn myself. When I look in the mirror, I'm just like, what is wrong with you? And I was 13, 12, and around this time, I did not like the way I look. I'm not happy right now. And like the only thing I have control of, because I don't have money, I can control what I can do to myself. And it wasn't until like I got older and I started studying mental health, I started studying like different like ways you can take care of yourself with the resources I had. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not the best with my mind right now. And there's other opportunities I can control those bad thoughts to let them out.
What were some of the tools that were most helpful to you?
Meditation really was a big thing for me. I loved meditating. Whenever I had those, I call it like noise, like those just thoughts in my head, like just talking. I'm like, close your eyes, inhale, exhale, and just breathe. Just find your center and calm yourself. That's really helped me a lot.
I want to add on this that meditation is very helpful. It helps you be more calm, more centered, as she said, and in my personal experience, it has helped me a lot with the brainless scrolling on Instagram Reels, with just overeating, because I would feel more calm and I wouldn't run towards those quick dopamine hits. So that really helped a lot. And also journaling can help you a lot too. When you have a lot of thoughts in your head that you just can't express or can't get out, and when you journal, your mind feels like it's more clear, like it doesn't have that constant noise. And yeah, those two are very good methods that you can do that can help you with weight loss and with any addiction in general. That is Being Fat a Choice by Jubilee. I think it was a very good video. I think you can go ahead and check them out. They do very good videos about every topic. I will link this one in the description below, so if you want to watch it without my reaction, you can just go ahead and watch it. To end this video, I think people should be more compassionate and they should have more empathy towards others. Also, I think people should start to hang out more in real life and not so much in social media, because people have lost connection. Like, they keep arguing and imagining that someone is their enemy, and they just fight and fight and fight and fight. And there are tons of people that just keep fighting on social media or on X or Twitter, whatever it is, for opinions that they don't even have. And also, if you see someone talking something extreme, maybe like I don't know, like obese people are like not valuable or some shit like that, don't take that personal. Don't give any value to that, because that's just trolling and someone is putting a bait for you, and then you can argue and then give them more attention. So a lot of people, like they've actually mentioned them in this video. People like Myron from the Red Bull podcast Fresh and Fit.
We need to bring shaming back. Okay. We need to bring shaming back in so many other regards besides obesity. We need to do it with sluts. We need to shame fat people. We need to shame everybody. Because shame. I mean, you deserve to be depressed if you're fat. And once you get that taste, you're never going to want to go back. And then on top of that, you're going to want to go ahead and tell all those fat asses that you were once friends with, you need to get in shape. This is awesome. But the reality is, we live in this crazy world where we coddle fat people, we coddle idiots, we coddle morons, and we don't hold anybody accountable, and we allow mediocrity to strive in the West. And I think we need to go back to shaming fat people. We need to go back to making fun of them. I mean, if I was president, hell, I'd put all of them in a fat concentration camp so they can concentrate on dieting and exercising.
I'd put all of them in a fat concentration camp.
Because being fat is completely not acceptable.
If you're into bodybuilding, you probably already know, and that's Greg Doucette. They usually say some stuff that are outlandish. They probably don't even believe it themselves, but they will say it because a lot of people will come to them and start fighting with them, which brings in more views, which brings in more money, and you're just feeding the dragon. So when you see stuff like that, just ignore it. That's the best way to win it. You can't argue with it, because as soon as you start saying something with them, you already lose. And also on the other extreme, there is the body positivity stuff that is saying that obesity can be healthy or is very attractive, which again, it can be just a troll, just a bait for you to bite and to give them more money, give them more attention. Or maybe there are few people that do believe those extremes, but in general, you'll be more safer if you just don't engage with that and you just ignore that. And that way they will see that it doesn't work, and those kind of trolls will die down. And if they actually believe the stuff they're saying, if everyone or mostly everyone ignores them and then they don't make money from that, then they will have to argue what they believe, and then we can go into more rational debate and actually talk about stuff and not just react by triggers. So that's my opinion for this video. Comment down below, what do you think? Do you disagree with anything I said? If you agree, comment down below. I would like to see what you think. Thank you so much for watching the video, and goodbye.